Welcome back to Teshkid FX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Vechain, whose current price stands at the $0.0187 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 2.09%. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the Fibonacci's, the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart patterns that we have information on this chart. And I want to kickstart my analysis here on the daily chart by giving a brief of what has been happening here on the daily chart. And from the low prices that Vechain had been trading within, we saw a very nice impulsive movement taking us back to an all-time high at around the $0.028 mark, and in that movement I'm terming it as a higher Elliott wave count 1 to the upper side here on the daily chart. Then after making it to an all-time high, we have been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, in a movement that I'm terming as a higher Elliott wave count 2. And because the wave 2 is a corrective wave, that ABC corrective structure fits in to be within that higher Elliott wave count 2. Then after seeing the low for that higher Elliott wave count 2, whatever I'm expecting next is a movement to the upper side in the formation of a higher Elliott wave count 3. Then expect a wave 4 and then continue pushing higher in a wave 5. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliott wave structure that I have right here on the daily chart, there are chances that we might have seen the low for this higher Elliott wave count 2 at around the $0.017 mark. And after seeing the low for that higher Elliott wave count 2, whatever we expect next is a movement to the upper side in this impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 3. And using the trend based Fibonacci here on the daily chart, we can sketch out a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 by connecting the Fibonacci's from the low of that first wave down there to the high of that higher Elliott wave count 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the higher Elliott wave count 2 down there, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 3 at the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $0.046 mark, and that is my minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 3, and that will play out in the next bull market once we see a reversal to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 3. And getting to the lower time frame so that I can give you the short-term scenarios that can play out here on the Vechain chart. Here on the 1 hour chart, for those that might have watched my previous videos, I had this Elliott wave structure to the upper side in a movement that I was terming as a wave 1. Then I expected a retracement over here in the formation of a wave 2, but you can see our wave 2 over here retraced too far, making a new low, and having done so, that invalidated this Elliott wave structure that I had right here. And right now I'm having a fresh Elliott wave structure to the upper side, which I think Vechain has well respected and is giving us a perfect Elliott wave structure to the upper side. And if I show you the Elliott wave structure that I'm referring to, we can have this as a wave 1, then a wave 2, then a wave 3, then a wave 4, then we have continued pushing higher in a wave 5, completing the formation of a higher Elliott wave count 1 right here here on the Vechain chart. And that might be the reversal that we are expecting in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 3 to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliott wave structure to get to see whether this Elliott wave structure is a perfect Elliott wave structure, we can use the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the first wave down there to the high of the wave 1, and then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 that is within this fractal wave to the upper side. And using the fib ratios, 1:1 fib ratios, that gives me a minimum target area back to around the $0.018 mark, which is a target area that we have fully maximized, seeing the formation of that wave 3. And if I drag the fibs to the high of the wave 3, that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of a wave 5 at the fib level 0.618, and that is at around the $0.019 mark. And the high that we have over here is at around the $0.01932 mark, and that is so close to the target area that I have sketched out using the trend based Fibonacci, meaning this is a perfect Elliott wave structure to the upper side. And having seen the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 1 to the upper side, whatever we expect next is a movement to the lower side in the formation of a higher Elliott wave count 2, and I can have here a higher Elliott wave count 2. And because a higher Elliott wave count 2 is a corrective wave, we also expect to see an ABC corrective structure, and we are seeing such a structure right here, having this as the wave A, then a wave B, then I'm expecting us to continue pushing lower in the formation of a wave C. And using the trend based Fibonacci, we can also sketch out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of this wave C by connecting the trend based Fibonacci from the high of that wave A to the low of the wave A, then dragging the fibs to the low of the wave B over here. And that gives me a minimum target area back to the fib level 1.618, and that perfectly lies at around the $0.01803 mark, and that is the minimum that I would expect these higher Elliott wave count to do to the lower side. And that gives me the short-term scenarios that can play out here on the Vechain chart. There are chances that we might continue retracing lower and get back to around the $0.01805 mark before we continue pushing higher in the formation of this higher Elliott wave count 3 to the upper side, which is also a fractal wave to the upper side. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 41 mark, meaning we have a bit of room for us to support any movements to the lower side before we get into the oversold region. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD we have printed a bearish cross, and that would mean lower prices are coming our way. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.